Alright, this is practice editing with some footage flying the F-18 Hornet off the Nimitz to go strike a convoy, flying with the joystick, one of my first times. So, take off, we gotta do all this shit. Flaps at full, and then we're gonna turn on the HUD. It's gonna turn on right now when everything else turns on. Helmet, HUD. Did I crank the engine yet? Alright, well now we are. Alright, there it is. Engine's cranking. I'm going to lower the canopy so I don't have to hear any of that. Alright. And then lower these mirrors. We're at 20. Alright, going to turn the engine to idle. Get rid of this guy. And there we go. Switch this one over to early warning. Switch this one over to the targeting pod. Alright, turn the radar on. And should just be about it. Alright, now throttle full. Waiting for them to launch us off with the catapult. Alright, it's gonna happen right now. Alright. Instantly, we're gonna raise the gear, and then once we reach 300 kilometers per hour, raise up flaps, start pulling up. We're gonna be flying with full throttle up until we've left this climb turn here and have gotten a bit to altitude. Right now at 3,000, so I'm going to lower it to 50 on the throttle. We're at 10,000 feet. Alright, now got to do some stuff before we get there. Turning on the targeting system. I'm going to turn on the slew on this. Basically just where it's going to be focusing on. We're going to move it to here. Now, if we look at this targeting camera, it's focused on that area. Though it's out of view because we're still a couple kilometers away, maybe it's 16-ish kilometers. Turn on the FLIR so we could look for movement. Alright, we found the convoy. Alright, want to hit the leading vehicle first. Make sure that we're facing the vehicle head on so that the laser can actually point at it, so our bomb will have laser guidance. Now another thing, we have to be cognizant of our fuel situation here. We only have internal fuel. See here, there's no external fuel pods, which means we don't actually have all that time. So we're trying to avoid being at full fuel or full throttle. Really just kind of chill at altitude while we drop bombs. Look for the convoy again. There we are. Alright. We got the laser target going on. Now to help out the bomb so it'll not take as long, we're going to drop it in the general vicinity of where it's heading. Somewhere around here. Alright, pickle. Bomb away. Bomb should be hitting shortly. That was direct hit. Next vehicle now. At altitude. Nope, we're a bit short of altitude, whatever. Alright. There's our target. We got him lased. Help out the bomb a little bit by getting in the general area. Bomb away. Pickle. Pull up. Climb back up to altitude. And watch that bomb drop. It's going to miss. I think it's going to hit that square. Nope, direct hit on the tank. Alright, we're now down to 5 bombs. Scan for targets. That cluster right there, if they don't move, is a good target. Designate it. Alright, let's come back around. Bomb away. We're still in that cluster, and there's infantry coming out of the truck. So the sooner we could hit that, if we could move it, since it's a laser bomb, have it hit closer over here. Wonderful. Took out the truck. There's still a bit of infantry running around. Now, for targets, we have a lot of infantry running around that building, but they are not worth it. And then these trucks hanging out here. I think this will be our next target. Okay, they're not designated yet, so we're going to have to go back into that. Target it. There we go. Helping the bomb out a little bit. Bomb away. Alright, that was a direct hit. Let's climb back up to altitude. Looking for next target. Still a tank intact. There's actually 2 intact tanks. Infantry is only a secondary or tertiary target here. If you don't hit them, it's kind of alright. Bomb away. It's a bit of an unusual drop. Was a direct hit. Now there's still a truck that's driving around. We cannot have that. Throttle full, throttle 50, and then we're going to climb a little bit and then check the flare. These guys are still this truck. That is now our target. We have, I believe, 2 bombs left. So that will be our target. Lays it. Bomb away. That was a direct hit. It looks like we've cleared out all the infantry, but not so keen on flying back with the bomb still. So might be a war crime, might be not. I'm gonna bomb this building in case they're hiding out there. Alright. Bomb away. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, there really seems to be no sign of infantry there, but it's worth, so let's just aim it a bit higher. Yeah, well, if there was infantry, there aren't. So we've gotten that sorted. There were some infantry in one of these houses near the area we were hitting them at. We're getting closer to the carrier, and I think I see it. Yeah. So we're going to go around it once into a holding pattern, and then on the second time coming in, we're going to land. So gear down, full flaps. We're going to go in on this pass. Well, ideally. If it's looking bad, I might just wave it. But we need to get some separation before we go in for this turn. If I turn in too aggressively here, I'll end up to the left of the carrier, and then we also don't have too much time to react and make adjustments. We also have to make a wide turn, since making a sharp turn would again have me way too left. It's easier to go way too right and then build our way in leftwards, because the angle on the carrier deck, on the flight deck, is for landing is already facing left, so coming in from the right is optimal. On the approach, you can turn on the Eiffels menu. This is to be able to actually see the Eiffels on the carrier, which you could see in person. In real life, you can just see it off the, with your eyeballs, but here it doesn't actually show up. You have to see it with the menu here. A sharp turn. More or less good in altitude. Sharp turn, sharp turn. Probably wave this one off, which is what the Eiffels is telling me to, but I'm a gangster. So, we go in. Alright, that was landing. We're going to release tail hook. We came in at 197 kilometers per hour. I can taxi off. Over here to the fuel guys. And hopefully not kill them. Alright. Successful mission. We flew out, took out the convoy, came back in, landed perfectly. Not sure which wire I caught. Hopefully the first wire, but probably the full wire. But yeah, all right.